How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether price is going up or down. So Whitehouse blames Congress for the failure to enact crypto regulations. They're just pointing the finger, but we'll get into more of that later. Four senior Biden officials penned a note Friday urging lawmakers to hasten their efforts to create a regulatory framework for crypto. You know, what we've been asking for since everyone's been investing in crypto. The White House pointed the finger at Congress Friday for stalling a comprehensive national crypto regulatory framework. Tongue twister there, I guess. Outlining numerous actions lawmakers could take to rein in bad actors. Some of these moves, they say, could be expanding the power of the SEC and the CFTC, which I agree that they should expand some of the CFTC. That's good, considering Elizabeth Warren was saying just the SEC should have control, so glad that someone else is saying, hey, someone should share this. Strengthening transparency and disclosing requirements for crypto companies. So that's good, a good thing too, because you want them to have to be transparent, and that'll help reduce some scams. But then they go on to how they're going to make money from this. Increase funding, strengthening penalties for existing finance rules, and enhancing those rules to penalize intermediaries, and passing legislation to regulate stablecoins. So they're going to fine a bunch of people out of business and try and control the stablecoin market. Republican House of Representatives could also make matters worse, they say. So they're trying to point the finger, saying, oh, watch out for these Republicans, because they made a new subcommittee on digital assets, or an illusion for a new subcommittee on digital assets, financial technology, and inclusion, recently announced by the Republican leadership. The committee's chair, Representative French Hill, stated that he aims to promote responsible innovation in cryptocurrency and fintech sectors. So they're kind of trying to say, hey, watch out for these guys. You don't want them to handle it. You want us to handle it. It should be everyone working together, not just one group or another. In the 2-year period from early 2021 to just the 2 weeks ago, in which Democrats controlled the presidency, the House, and the Senate, they really didn't get much going, including we saw the collapse of Terra last May, the implosion of FTX, and several other issues. But what the nail in the coffin here is the Loomis-Gilbert Responsible Financial Innovation Act, which would have given regulatory power to the CFTC, has been kicking around the Senate since last June. So, when the Senate was controlled all by Democrats and the House and the presidency, they could pass this power that they're calling for the CFTC to have. So Gary Gensler actually says some good words for once, but not too much. He says if something looks too good to be true, sometimes they really are. So that's one red flag, like, Yuga Labs promising, hey, if you buy our NFT, you're the only person that can use this image and make a bunch of money from that. If you're not familiar with what happened with that, go to last night's video. So he says 3 good things. 1, the crypto project can't provide clear documentation regarding how it works or how it plans to deliver on its goals. Like, there's no clear roadmap that shows, hey, we're going to do this, this, and this, and here's how we're going to do it. So that's one thing I do agree with. 2, the project can't demonstrate that it's regulatory and compliance. And 3, the project can't easily explain what it is at all. So if you have a project that just says, hey, we're monkey doo-doo NFT, and that's all it says, then you don't want to be buying that. But, he's saying that we need regulatory compliance, even though people have been asking for that forever, and he doesn't want to give it. He just wants to go after who he feels like. Yeah. Also says that high returns are a red flag. Most cryptocurrencies are not complying with the securities law, according to Gary Gensler, but they should be, he said. It's the Wild West. Gary Gensler told the audience that the majority of cryptocurrencies, upwards of 15,000 tokens currently in the market, will ultimately fail. I think we could see a good washout eventually, as regulation does happen and as more coins start becoming more adaptive to different use cases, we'll see different chains take on some of the utility that other chains failed to actually grasp and gain market share of. Kind of like, the dot-com bust, we had multiple companies that died and a few that rose up. That's likely to happen. Doesn't take a genius to figure that out. So if you're considering investing in crypto, consider how much of your portfolio to devote to it, and certainly no more than you can afford to lose. I'd say don't do that with anything. You don't want to buy any microcap stock that you don't know very much about or can't find much about, and you don't want to go mortgage your house and buy that microcap stock and lose it all. So the Azuki Twitter account, sorry, this ain't Naruto, attacker drains over 75k in 30 minutes. An abrupt hostile takeover of the gold-checked Azuki Twitter account, led some users failing into yet another wallet draining scam on Friday. In less than 30 minutes, over $750,000 USDC, 11 NFTs, and 3.9 ETH were stolen through malicious links. These links said they were a land NFT mint. The link instead sent users to a drainer contract that duped them into clicking a link that signed everything away from their wallets. Kind of like you see in this screenshot here. It says if you add this, then you're going to lose all your money. So this person was warning, hey, don't go after this. It's a fake. It was a surprise mint too. Usually projects are going to announce their mints. Sometimes you might get surprise mints, but I'd be a little leery on a surprise mint from Twitter. You'd want to go to the official website and find if there's an official announcement that day or something. MetaMask security research Harry Denley noticed that the scam almost immediately and said that MetaMask has since blocked the malicious domain, so they're not allowing people to get through it. Phantom is also giving flags like you saw from this pop-up here. So, luckily, people realized it pretty quick, and sadly, a lot of money got stolen, or quite a good chunk of money got stolen. And it's not the first time, so hopefully some of these people can get their money back, but likely when your money gets stolen like this, the people run off with it, and it's years later, and if they haven't hidden the money, then you might get it back, but most people will hide the money they steal. So, onto the charts. Over on the daily here, you can see we got a candle that's starting just above this 23k level. We got like weird doji candle. The upper and lower shadows are pretty much even, so it's almost like a flat doji. There's just as much buying pressure and selling pressure. We barely close above the green line. Our momentum wave's still coming down. Our VWAP's kind of flattening out. You want to see this start to come down if we're going to get a stronger bearish move. Over on the 4 hour, you can see we're starting to round off again. Our momentum's starting to pick back up. However, we still do have that divergence from here. Our price is pretty flat, and our momentum's going down. So we do have a divergence on this momentum wave. However, it's easy enough if this VWAP starts picking up on the lower time frames, we could start blasting through, as we did wick through this 23k level or 23.4 level again. And usually that each time you wick, you're gonna make that weaker and more likely to break through. Over on the 2 hour, you can see our momentum wave somewhat curling and our VWAP's touching that neutral zone. So if this breaks this neutral zone and we get some sort of a red dot like what was printing about an hour ago, but now it's gone, then we could see some bearish action. However, with that red dot disappearing, take a look on the 1 hour. That's because a green dot invalidated it. And our 1 hour, our VWAP is coming up. So if our 1 hour doesn't flop, then our 2 hour may not flop. And then it's likely we may not get much more downside. We may trade sideways, or we could get some explosive move. It's likely we're going to trade sideways, though, as everyone's waiting for the Fed meeting on February 1st to see if interest rates are going to be increased by 0.25% like most of the market believes. If that happens, likely we'll get some bullish momentum if the Fed doesn't say anything else, anything that could scare investors. But if it comes in higher and then they scare off investors, or comes as expected and they scare off people, then we may see a pretty good pull. So it might be flat for a couple more days yet. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.